Hey everybody, I'm sitting here today with the lyricist from my album Permission to Fly, and I'm really excited because people keep asking me about the lyrics and what everything means, and I'm kind of like, well, yeah, I wrote the music, and I asked my daughter, who is a linguist and great with language and very creative, to write the lyrics. So she's best to answer those questions and tell us a little bit about what is behind the lyrics on Permission to Fly. So, the main question that everybody keeps asking me is the overall concept behind it. They were given a little summary, I think, when the interviewers got the information about the album. But then they come to me and ask me, and I'm like, oh, I wish Ari were here. Here she is. She's going to tell you what it's about.
Sure. I guess a little bit of backstory might be helpful in getting to the themes. We started working on this album in a sort of collaborative way on a family vacation. You were going through different perspective melodies that you would come up with at the piano, and it was still just sort of a casual idea, and together we were figuring out which ones were worth further exploration and building upon.
Right.
Simultaneously, there was a lot of turbulence in the world, and I think as the songs became clearer and my role as the lyricist became more defined, I was just sort of trying to embody your voice and sort of musical ethos in the lyrics, and also I was personally responding to what I was experiencing and seeing in the world.
That's so cool. Yeah, just to add a little bit of another perspective. So I would sit at the piano, and over the course of the last year or whatever, I'd play all these different things, and I felt like I had a whole collection of little bits. Maybe they were 8 measures long or 16. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of like, okay, I decided to do this album, but I was like, which ones of these should I really use?
Right.
And so I sent them to Ari to listen to get some feedback, and kind of together we really pinpointed the ones that affected us most. And when I went to compose the album, those bits were right there. So I'd be, okay, but today I'm going to write a song.
Right.
And it's going to be, this based on this particular video, which was really, really helpful.
Yeah, and then I was here visiting for Thanksgiving, and you were like, look, some of the songs are finished. I used the melodies that we picked. Take a look. Maybe you can write some of the lyrics. So I think I just sat down on the couch around Thanksgiving and wrote the lyrics to Embers and Footstep in the Snow that day, and you came and we sat on the couch and kind of figured them out together, and then I went back to my apartment and wrote all the rest of the lyrics that week.
It seemed like for you, it was a whirlwind, much in the same way that writing the music is for me, because it's really hard for me to get a big project like that started.
Yeah.
But once I get in the studio and start to do it, it's kind of okay, everybody get out of my way, because I've got to get through this. And it's almost like the wheels start to turn.
Yeah.
And then you're okay, just doing it. And it gets a little bit easier as you're going. It's intense.
In the
intense
mode.
Work.
Yeah, it's for me at least, maybe it's genetic. For me at least, it felt like a mix of sort of being in the right creative mindset and feeling like I had this looming responsibility hanging over my head and just wanting to get it done.
Right. And tell me about the challenge of writing lyrics for music that was in so many different meters.
Yeah, I think that having grown up with prog in such a singular way maybe makes it more accessible to me than some people. But I do remember with song 7, which is called The Alchemist Now, I was sitting at my desk and listening to it, and I was like, oh my God, Dad, I'm gonna kill you. I was daunted at needing to figure out some kind of cohesive narrative or lyrics, when not only was it an 8-minute song that had all those different time signatures, but also musically it goes in so many different directions. But I think ultimately, reflecting back on it, that's the one that I'm most proud of, not only because it was so difficult, but also because I think it came together in a pretty cool way.
I remember also with that song, you're kind of well, how is Joe going to sing this?
Yeah.
Because it has kind of almost a skip beat.
Yes.
And I was saying, it's not that hard. It's dun,
yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
Right.
It has that little jump in it.
Exactly.
So, and then I sent it to Joe, and I was worried because you were kind of like, oh, I don't know if he's going to be able to get this. And I sent it to Joe,
and
he
he
was
was
like,
so chill about it.
I can do this. And then when you listen to him sing the verse,
he just nailed it on the
it's
first
like so
try.
natural.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. And I think that one of the things that was really cool is when Joe got the lyrics, there were very few things that he, had said. Like, he didn't really feel the need to change anything.
Yeah, I mean, that was sort of the cool and empowering and also kind of intimidating part of this whole process. I wouldn't consider myself a lyricist, although you and me have written a bunch of songs together in a more like familial way.
Right.
I kind of came in, you were basically fine with everything. I think we might have changed like 4 words total in the whole album.
Right.
And then
right.
Joe was pretty happy to just jump on board and sing them as written. And we both thought that they sounded amazing. So yeah, I guess we'll see what people think.
Well, it's an amazing accomplishment to write words to such crazy music, and also to kind of follow the one main direction that I had, which was to make them sound good with the music, which is, it's maybe that sounds like a small thing, but it's not a small thing because it's really, really important. So to find the meaning that you want, but also to make them sound good and to make them singable. That was the other thing that I was, we gave it to Joe and said, if you need to change anything, let us know. Well, one thing is Joe's an incredible singer and he was able to just, do everything.
Right.
But I think you really accomplished that goal.